Dear colleagues, dear travel agents, the webinar about the Florida Keys and Key West is going to start in about 5 minutes. Please stay tuned and be patient. Dear colleagues, dear travel agents, the Florida Keys webinar is going to start in just a few minutes. Please stay tuned. And travel agents, the webinar about the Florida Keys and Key West is going to start in about 2 minutes. So please stay further tuned. Dear colleagues, dear travel agents, the webinar about the Florida Keys and Key West starts in about 1 minute. Dear colleagues, dear travel agents, we have 10:35 and I think we can start now with the webinar. Well, first of all, welcome to the second series of the Visit USA, the Netherlands, the second series of webinars all about the United States. today you have registered, or for today you have registered for a webinar about the Florida Keys and Key West. But as you can see on the first slide, there's not just one webinar waiting for you. There is a series of webinars. The next one is Denver, then the other one is an entertainment, then Explore Fairbanks, and mid-October, all about St. Pete, Clearwater, and Florida. So there is a lot about the US to come. But today it's all about the Florida Keys and Key West. My name is Günter Weyrich, and I am the representative for the Florida Keys and Key West for the Benelux. And I'm today your presenter of the entire destination. Before we start with the specific presentation, I would like to really do a little sound check. So you have on your control panel, you have a raise hand button. So make sure that you hear me clearly. So just click on the raise hand button so that I know that you can hear me well. So I see most of you can hear me. So that looks very good. Perfect. And just for the organization of the next 45, 50 minutes, please note that I will start with the presentation soon, and I will finish my presentation, and you can place your questions in the control panel in between, and then I will have a look at the questions at the end of my presentations. So that, I think, is the best way to continue. Well, I see that most of you can hear me. So now, just in order to remove the raise hand button again, just click on it again, and then we can start with the presentation. So perfect. Okay, so, and I will start now with the presentation. Welcome to the Florida Keys and Key West. Welcome to America's happy end. We all know, and most of you for sure know, that the US cannot be visited right now. And unfortunately, we don't know until what time and how long that will last. But the fact that it cannot be visited right now by Europeans does not mean that the Florida Keys and Key West are closed. No, the Florida Keys and Key West are open and can be visited right now by a lot of Floridians and a lot of US Americans. And they come down to the Florida Keys because of two good reasons. Number one, I mean, they want to enjoy the natural beauty of the Florida Keys and the wide open spaces where you can really secure the social distancing. And this is definitely possible on the Florida Keys and Key West, and they really enjoy it. And the second reason is because they feel safe and secure. And that especially because the Florida Keys and Key West, they follow strictly the COVID guidelines of the Florida Department of Health. How's the situation on the Keys right now, talking about COVID-19? As I said before, the Florida Keys are open for visitors, and not just the destination, also the Key West International Airport or the Marathon Airport. Both airports are open for visitation. Right now, due to COVID-19 situation, of course, you have to wear masks, and you have to wear them all where it's required, and where social distancing is not guaranteed, means less than a 1.5 meter distance, you have to wear it definitely. So you have to wear it indoors and outdoors where 1.5 meters cannot be secured. So then you have to wear mask. You have to keep social distance at all times. And again, when it's less than 1.5 meter, you have to wear it definitely, the mask. And then you have to wash hands all the time. In Key West, we have a little different situation. Here you have to wear your mask everywhere, regardless of social distancing. So that's really important. And in Key West, not all restaurants or bars and have opened. So some of the bars or the bars have closed. Some of the restaurants or all restaurants, they have to run with a 50% capacity. And of course, the hotels right now, they are not running with 100% capacity. So it really depends on the hotel. So this is the situation right now on the Florida Keys and Key West. And always to remember, you have to wear masks where required. You have to keep social distance, and you have to wash your hands all the time. Safe on the Florida Keys. But now let's have a look into the destination itself. Here, a map of the Florida Keys. I'm sure you all know where they are located, the chain of islands south of Miami. The Florida Keys are divided up into 5 districts. One, or the first one you enter is Key Largo, the second one is Alamorada, and then you have Marathon, Big Pine Key, and then the Lower Keys. The majority of our guests do enter the Florida Keys via highway number 1, the overseas highway, which starts at Florida City at Homestead when you leave the Florida Turnpike. Then you enter highway number 1, which leads you all the way through here to Key West. From Miami to Key Largo, it is about 1.5, so 1.5 hour drive. From Key Largo to Key West, it's about 180 kilometers. And from Miami to Key West, about 270 kilometers. So when you drive down to Key West, from Key Largo to Key West, you need at least 2.5 or up to 3.5 hours. It's just because, I mean, it's one overseas highway, one highway going through. There is traffic, and sometimes there's a little bit more traffic. So you can never be sure if you need 2.5 or 3.5 hours. And imagine just if you really want to drive from Miami, experiencing Key West or the Florida Keys as a day trip, you need to plan at least 8 to 10 hours in total to drive from Miami to Key West and back again. So that makes no sense. That's why I have to say, or we say, never, please never sell the Florida Keys or Key West as a day trip from Miami. That makes no sense. You just spend too much time on the road, and you won't see, or you will miss all what can be seen here in Key Largo, Alamorada, Marathon, Big Pine Key, or Key West. So please do never sell it as a day trip. It makes just no sense. For orientation on this overseas highway, you will see those green signs over here. These are the mile markers, and they tell you exactly how far you are from Key West. So the mile marker 0 is in Key West, and it all starts with mile marker 127.5 at Florida City. So when you are at mile marker 50 around Marathon, you know exactly that you're only 50 miles away from Key West. So this just for your orientation. And then you have here, and you have Bayside. So this is also very good to remember, but I come to this later again. As I said before, the majority of our guests do come with their own rental car over the overseas highway down to the Florida Keys. But that's not the only way. to get to the Florida Keys. The major gateway airports for Florida are definitely Orlando, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, Fort Myers, and Miami, which is our major gateway into the Florida Keys and Key West. And from all those airports here in Florida, most of our guests, they start their Florida round trip. Usually it's 14 days or 3 weeks, and sooner or later they come down to the Florida Keys, driving down the overseas highway. But you can also fly into Key West. Most of the people are not aware of this, that you can even either you end up during your Florida vacation in Key West and take a flight from Key West perhaps to Atlanta and then back to Europe, or you can even fly into New York first, have a city break in New York, and then fly into Key West from New York. So you can do it vice versa. And if you're now thinking about your rental car and thinking about and drop off, pickup fee, drop off fee, don't worry. All in Florida, doesn't matter where you pick up your car and where you drop off your car, it's all the same. So when you start in Orlando, for example, and you end up in Key West and fly out of Key West, don't worry, it's the same rental car fee as if Orlando. So this is also something good to know when planning your Florida round trip. So this is just a tip from my side when you don't want to drive all the way down to Key West and all the way back again, which is a nice scenic trip, but some people want to save some time, and I fully understand this. Well, now let's have a closer look to the various districts. The first one you mentioned, you will arrive is Key Largo, and Key Largo is known as the diving capital of the world. And around the chain of islands, we will have the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary. And this is not just here around Key Largo, it's all around the Florida Keys. And this National Marine Sanctuary, with this, we protect the only living coral barrier reef of the continental USA. And this coral reef is located over here on the ocean side of the Florida Keys, not on the bay side. And over here, we have the most scenic dive spots. Either we have them here, natural dive spots, or we have those artificial dive spots, which are the shipwrecks. And these are very well known for all the divers from all over the world and are very attractive locations for all the divers. And that's the reason why Key Largo is known as the diving capital of the world. And it could look like these, for example, underwater. Here, as I said, the only living coral barrier reef of the continental USA is located over here, and it looks like this here on the picture. One of the major highlights, most visited attractions in Key Largo is John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park. And this is the first underwater state park in the US. From here, you can start your activities like glass bottom boat tours, dive tours, snorkel trips, kayaking trips. Kayaks, you rent kayaks where you sit on top. That's why it's called the sit on top kayaks. So all these boats can be rented out here, and then you can explore John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park. And diving snorkel trips can be booked as half-day trips or as full-day trips. So, and this is, I would say, in Key Largo, one of the most popular activities you're doing and the most popular attraction you visit once you are here in Key Largo. What most of the people or most of our guests are not aware of, that you can also visit the Everglades National Park from our side, so on the base side. Key Largo is known also as the gateway to the Everglades National Park. Normally, you enter Everglades from the east entrance, I mean, from Florida City or from Homestead, but actually you can enter here the Florida Key, you can enter the Everglades from the Florida Keys, also from the south. But this is only possible by boat, motorboat, or kayak. Just keep that in mind, because that is not that much known, that Key Largo is also a gateway to the Everglades National Park. And of course, you can overnight in Key Largo. We have a huge variety of hotels, resort hotels, motels, apartments in that area. And we have them bayside and we have them oceanside. The good thing is that in the Upper Keys, you have all hotels, or all hotels provide you with coastal views. So you always see the coast on bayside or on oceanside. So this is very good to know as well when selling accommodations for the Florida Keys and Key West. The next district we're entering is Islamorada. Islamorada is known in the US and in the world as the fishing capital of the world. Here you book your own seat on a fishing boat, on a, as they say it, on a party boat, but it's not a partying boat, it's a party boat in the sense of group, because you're part of the group, and that's why you book your seat on a party boat. Here you go out on fishing trips where you fish your own fish. And the good thing is you fish your fish and later on you cook your own catch, or you have the opportunity to cook your own catch in one of the nearby restaurants. It could be the Islamorada Fish Company or the Lazy Days restaurant, and they cook your fish in that restaurant. And this is very unique. What you can do as well, as far as fishing is concerned, is backcountry fishing in the evening, and that could look like this. Very nice and very attractive as well. During the day, when you don't want to fish, you can actually visit Theater of the Sea, which is located on Wind Lake Key, and this is a family attraction, a half-day park where you can really have animal interaction programs. And the good thing is you have really close encounters with wild animals like the sea lions, the dolphins, or sea turtles. This is really something for families with smaller kids. And I did this with my own family, with my own kids when they were smaller, because here they had the opportunity to really get close to all the animals over there, and they enjoyed it really very much. And of course, after a long day fishing or a long day at the Theater of the Sea, you have the opportunity to relax at one of the beachfront accommodations. And again, I have to highlight this here. You have in the Upper Keys a coastal view, no matter what you book. It's either bayside or it's oceanside. And then the next day, you could continue to your next stop, which could be then in Marathon. But on the way before you come to Marathon, here is my special tip. You have to make a stop at Robbie's Marina. It's located on Bayside before you come to Marathon. And here you can feed the tarpons. This is the most unique opportunity to really feed one of the big fishes. And you're competing, of course, with the pelicans you see here on the photo. So the pelicans, they want to have those fishes which are supposed to be for the tarpons as well. So you're fighting a little bit with the pelicans about the fish and to feed the tarpons, but it's very nice. It's a unique opportunity. But besides feeding the tarpons, you can as well you can rent jet skis, a paddleboard, kayaks, you can do parasailing, and you even have restaurants and shops at Robbie's Marina just to have a nice little break in between on your way to Key West. And then the next district you're entering, it's Marathon, which is in that case the heart of the Florida Keys. First of all, you could do a stop here at Cressy Key. You can do a stop at the Dolphin Research Center, where you can swim with the dolphins, or you can have a stop here right before the 7 Mile Bridge. You can have a stop at the Turtle Hospital. And then, of course, the next highlight would be here, the 7 Mile Bridge. Here again, a hint to the mile marker. When you have reached Dolphin Research Center, you are about mile marker 50, which means you have only 50 miles to go to Key West. So that's perfect for your orientation. Maybe just a hint as far as the address of your hotel is concerned, because you have a street number, for example, 10,511. So this means Overseas Highway 10,511. That means 105 miles away from Key West. And when you have the ending, an uneven ending like 511, 11 means it's uneven. It means Oceanside. If it would be 510, it would be Bayside. So that even helps you to know where you need to go to find your own hotel or to find one of the attractions. Just look at the street number, and then you know exactly how far you are from Key West, because it indicates the mile marker. And when it's uneven, it's Oceanside, and when it's even, it is Bayside. So that helps you definitely a little bit for orientation purposes. Yeah, the 7 Mile Bridge. This is the major attraction in Marathon. Here you see the old 7 Mile Bridge, and here the new 7 Mile Bridge. And again, this is the only road which leads you down to Key West. And this is the 7 Mile Bridge, part of the Overseas Highway, part of the old road, part of the highway number 1. And here an image of the turtles, the sea turtles, just to tell you a little bit. Okay, the Turtle Museum, and it's a non-profit organization. And here at the Turtle Museum, you will learn everything about rescue of sea turtles, rehabilitation, and the release of sea turtles. You cannot just go there and visit. So when you come to the Turtle Hospital, you need to book a 90 minutes guided tour. And it's a really very interesting educational program. Really worth to have a stop here on your way down to Key West. And then the Dolphin Research Center, which I mentioned before. Here you have the opportunity to participate in one of the or several educational programs. And the most popular one is, of course, the one where you can swim with the dolphins. And of course, we have several accommodation opportunities in the area of Marathon. And because of the Turtle Museum and because of the Dolphin Research Center, several family-friendly resorts are located in Marathon. And this, for example, is Hawks Cay with its own lagoon over here. And even the hotel provides the opportunity for hotel guests to participate in a swimming with a dolphin program. So very unique, everything here in the Marathon area. And then we enter the next part, the next district on your way to Key West, which is Big Pine Key and the Florida's Lower Keys. So this area is also very unique because this area is really focusing on nature and wildlife. Here we have 2 national wildlife refuges located. One of us is here the National Key Deer Refuge. So this is an area especially where we protect the national key deer on the Florida Keys. And here you see that sign pointing out that there could be some key deers crossing the road. That's why you will always encounter, especially in that area, speed limit signs. So sometimes you have to will really go down to 10 miles per hour or to 15 miles per hour, because it could really happen that those key deers cross the roads, and that's why you have to be very carefully driving down on this road to Key West. And especially here, again, the mile marker 25 indicates that it's only 25 miles to get to Key West. As I said before, we focus here very, very much on nature. And from here, you can do kayaking trips, you can rent a canoe, you can do backcountry trips, you can do backcountry fishing over here. And this is also very unique for the Florida Keys. And here we have less hotels, just a few B&Bs and a few campgrounds, but not that many hotels over here. And this indicates again that we are focusing very much in that region on the wildlife and to protect nature and the wildlife. What we have as well in that area is, for example, nice white sandy beaches, especially here at Bahia Honda State Park, located in the Lower Keys. But here I have to tell you something. This beach, Bahia Honda Beach, is one of the most beautiful beaches in the US, but the Florida Keys are not known for its beaches, for miles and miles wide sandy beaches. We have beaches like the Bahia Honda State Park and a really nice one. But if you really want to go and enjoy, experience miles and miles and wide sandy beaches, then you have to go to other places in the state of Florida. Here in the Florida Keys, we have very nice beaches, but not for miles and miles and miles. The Bahia Honda State Park beach is a few hundred meters, but that's it. Very nice, but it's not when you imagine or would expect a long, long, long wide sandy beach. This is what the Florida Keys are not known for. We are known for our outdoor activities, either on the water or in the water, but not for the wide sandy beaches, but we have a few. And in the Florida Keys, especially in the Lower Keys, you can also book some boat trips, especially with Captain Andrea here, and you can walk in the backcountries here, and especially at the Great White Heron National Wildlife Refuge, you can walk and enjoy the countryside. And this is very, very popular. Or others that take their boat and have a Sunday picnic on the sandy bars here in the Lower Keys. This is also very much popular. And coming back again to some accommodation opportunities, as I said before, there are not that many hotels in the Lower Keys, but a few campgrounds over there, and it could look like these. Very nicely located, and it's just a different experience, the way to experience the Florida Keys. And as I also said before, we do not have that many hotels. We have some very nice boutique hotels, luxury boutique hotels like those on a private island, which is in that case the Little Palm Island, where we have a very nice luxury property located on a small private island. That is also something unique for the Lower Keys. Well, and then of course we continue our trip to Key West, and here we go. Here we are in Key West, which is one big island at the end of the chain of the Florida Keys. And here, let's have a look closer on the map. Usually you come here over the overseas highway, US highway number 1, and then you cross the bridge on Stock Island to the island of Key West, and then you come to a traffic light over here, and then you have to decide if you want to take the Northern Roosevelt Boulevard or if you take the Southern Roosevelt Boulevard, which brings you all the way down to downtown Key West, which is over here. But on the way here, you have located several resort hotels on the Northern Roosevelt Boulevard or on the Southern Roosevelt Boulevard. Here, by the way, is the Key West International Airport. So, and you drive either that way or the northern route into Key West. And in Key West, we have hotels located here on the northern side or here on the southern side. Here, for example, is the southernmost point. It's only 90 miles to Cuba when you are located here on that area. And depending on the weather, you can even see Cuba from that side. In downtown Key West, you have a lot of the well-known bed and breakfast located, very nice, typical accommodation type in Victorian houses. Very unique, very special, and they just look great. But we have also a few hotels over here in the southern part and on the northern part. And then I have to point out two major streets. By the way, here from the north to the south, it's about 2 kilometers, and here from west to east, it's about 6 kilometers. So all not that far, all very close. When coming back to the streets, which I want to point out, we have one major road here, that's Duval Street. On the northern part, we have, well, souvenir shops, some restaurant. This is the area where you have the bars, where most of the nightlife is taking place. This in Mallory Square is where the cruise ships stop, and then where the guests enter into Key West. That's primarily that area. If you go further south of Duval Street, you have more the art galleries over here. Not that many restaurants and shops. It's more the art galleries, the Butterfly Museum over here. So this is all located in that area. The other street I want to point out is here the Whitehead Street. This is the street where most of the Key West museums are located. For example, the Ernest Hemingway Home and Museum is located in that area. So these are the two major streets you should discover. You should really have a look to while exploring the city of Key West. It doesn't matter if you are located over here or if you're located in your hotel over here. The hotels over here, they provide shuttle services into Key West. And here in the center of Key West, transportation-wise, it's very nice to take this conch train, or we have also trolley tours, which we do offer to explore the downtown area of Key West. But my recommendation is definitely here to rent bikes. Use your bike, explore Key West with your bikes. You can find rental stations all over Key West, or just ask at the hotel. Some hotels do rent bikes as well. This is the best way to really explore the town, and it makes a lot of fun, and it's safe and secure. Don't worry, it's really a nice way to explore the city. What Key West is known for is definitely the sunsets. And that's why we have sunset celebrations in Key West. Nice sunset views here from the Sunset Pier, but also from Mallory Square, we have our sunset celebrations. And when you enjoy a sunset celebration, you can either do that on Mallory Square, or you can book yourself or you book your seat on one of the sunset cruises, which is a very nice, unique experience. They have food, they have drinks on board of the sailing ships. And it's a very unique way to enjoy the very nice sunsets in Key West. And when the sunset is done, usually you will end up in the city center of Key West and enjoy a very nice dinner in one of the restaurants in front of nicely decorated Victorian houses. I mean, and that image here shows the Grand Key West Cafe, and most of all the restaurant, it looks like this, and it's very unique, very special to spend the evening over here during your nightlife experience. So that's really, really, really nice in that area. And on the next day, one of my special tips is, because most of the guests do not have enough time in Key West, which is really very sad. But when you spend, as I recommended at the beginning, at least 2 nights in Key West, so you should think about spending the next day at Tortugas National Park. It is a unique experience. It's again 70 miles further west of Key West, further 70 miles into the Gulf of Mexico, and you can book your a seat on a seaplane, or you can take the ferry, which starts early in the morning and come back in the afternoon, and you can spend a full day here at Fort Jefferson at the Tortugas National Park, and you can snorkel all day, you can sunbathing all day, you can dive a little bit over here. You can spend a full day here at Tortugas National Park, and that's a very unique experience. And again, it's 70 miles further down into the Gulf of Mexico, and it's just a unique experience. So when you have 2 nights in Key West, you should definitely spend well 3/4 of a day here at the Tortugas National Park. This is my special tip, hot tip for those who have the time and take the time to have a relaxing vacation here on the Florida Keys. Well, then of course we have festivals in our area. One of the popular ones is here the Hemingway Lookalike Contest. And yeah, when you're planning your stay in Key West, always look at our calendar. Are there festivals planned going on in our area? Because when there are festivals, which are usually on the weekend, it is becoming very, very busy here on the Florida Keys, and especially then in Key West. So plan your stay ahead, and always keep in mind, usually in the Florida Keys, not now during the COVID times, but later on, I mean, it will be the same again. We are facing a 90% occupancy rate, which means you have to really plan your stay in the Keys. That's why we always say plan ahead, plan wisely when you're coming down to the Florida Keys, especially to Key West, in order to to book your stay and to plan your stay. And it's always wise to consult a tour operator, because they know exactly how it looks like, how the situation is in the Florida Keys, especially in Key West. So always consult a tour operator, and always keep in mind that during the week from Monday to Friday, it's less busier than on the weekend. So you get much better rates from Monday to compared to the weekend. So always keep that in mind. But in general, my recommendation is talk to your tour operator, consult the tour operator to see how the situation is in the Florida Keys occupancy wise, which hotels are available, and if there are festivals going on in the Florida Keys and Key West. This is all very important, and is my recommendation for you when you're planning really on a vacation for you or for your guests coming down to the Florida Keys and Key West. Yes, and that brings me already to the end of my presentation. 2 further tips I have to tell you. We have a Florida Keys website in Dutch language. It's fla-keys.nl. Please have a look for further information. You can even download some brochures from that website, also in Dutch. So all of that is available. So it is very convenient then for you to find further information on this dedicated language website. And for those who want to go more into detail, you can really participate in our online training. And it's also something specifically what we developed for the Dutch market is our Dutch speaking online training. And you will find that on the website here indicated on that chart. So fla-keysnl.experttraining.eu. When you click on that link, it will lead you immediately to the online training, or in the Dutch language, and you could become a certified destination specialist. So that's also something good for you, what we set up and what we arranged for you, so that you could become a Florida Key specialist, and in the end, that you are in the position to better sell our destination in the future. And here, our contact info. Okay, here you can see our office is based in Cologne, and Marcel is our main contact for you. I'm your contact for today, or for the Florida Keys and Key West, but your main contact is Marcel. You can always call us, you can always send us an email, and we can answer all your questions, your specific questions. And it's yeah, not too far. So, and just take advantage of this opportunity, get in touch with us to place all your questions. And now I want to thank you, first of all, for your attention, for your patience, that you took the time to listen to my presentation, and I hope that it was beneficial for you. And now it's time, as I said at the beginning, to have a look at your questions, and I will have a look at those, and I'm happy and hopefully I can answer them. Let me see. Yeah, there's one question. It's about the spring break. Yeah, I mean, spring break, if it's busy on the Florida Keys during spring break, yes. The spring break, it's well, a student break, especially in Florida. Yes, and Florida is, of course, then very busy, but spring break, the key location of spring break is more, I would say, Fort Lauderdale or Atlantic Coast or Miami area, but not so much the Florida Keys. It is busier than usual, but the key locations are not in the Florida Keys during spring break. The students go to other places, so don't be concerned about this. It's would be all okay, but as I said, the key areas are in different areas in Florida. Yeah, I mean, the another question is families. Yes, what can you do with families on Isla Morada? Well, there is the Theater of the Sea, which you can definitely visit with families, because especially with small kids, you can go to Theater of the Sea. It's a family attraction park where you can have close encounters with the animals, with the lions, with the dolphins. So all of that is possible at Isla Morada. But and what was also good from, as I mentioned before, for families is definitely the the Turtle Hospital and the Dolphin Research Center. So this is also something you should see with a family, because it's so special, so unique for Florida. So that is something you definitely should do. So, but of course, for families, being out on the boat, doing some snorkel trips, that's also something you can do with the families while you are exploring the Florida Keys. Let me see if there are some other questions. No, I think these are the major questions I had, and I think the other ones I have answered that already during my presentation. So again, yes, the Florida Keys are also a family destination with a lot of opportunities, a lot of activities to do over there. And at the end, I want to highlight again, please do not sell the Florida Keys as a day trip from Miami. This makes no sense. You spend too much time in the car, and you will miss all what is available in Key Largo, Isla Morada, Marathon, or the Lower Keys, because there is so much to see. And a vacation should be a relaxing vacation. It should be a relaxing period, and yourself under too much stress while you do your Florida vacation. it's more wise to concentrate on specific areas and stay longer and enjoy what the area has to offer to you. So again, please do not sell the Florida Keys as a day trip from Miami. Well, that's it from my side then. I have to thank you again for your attention, for for the webinar, being part of the Florida webinar. And now words about Visit USA again. You all know Visit USA, the Netherlands. It's a membership organization in charge of promoting the USA. So when you have, besides the Florida Keys and Key West, further questions on the US in general and specific areas, so please get in touch with Visit USA, the Netherlands. They are happy to help you with all your questions, and it's definitely a great source of information. So please keep that in mind and be always in touch with the organization when you have more questions on the Visit USA organization in the Netherlands. And then last but not least, I really want to point out again that there are more webinars to come, all organized by Visit USA the Netherlands, and that is, first of all, next week, all about Denver, then SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, and then Explore Fairbanks, Alaska, beginning of October, and the big finale, St. Pete, Clearwater on October 13th. And then you have learned, after passing all those webinars, you have learned many things about the US again, and you're updated and ready to sell the United States and Florida as best as you can. So thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see you in the Florida Keys and Key West very soon, again, once it is possible to visit the destination again. So thank you very much, and bye-bye.